Please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing our opening hymn, Come Sing a Song. It's number 346 in the great hymnal, but the words will be on the screen, yes.
Good morning. Welcome everyone. My name is Veysel Dokur and I use the pronouns he, him. And I'm your worship associate on this beautiful Sunday morning. And our monthly opening song, come sing a song with me. And those lyrics, they always, inspire me. Let's do more together. Come sing together, come act together, not only worship and other things, but do as more as we could together. We welcome you into this sanctuary where we celebrate diversity and learn from one another no matter what our differences in order to deepen our relationships, connections, and transform the world with love. Let us begin our worship with these opening words by Reverend Michelle Collins. Come into our circle. Come in from margins. Come into our circle. Here we stretch a wide doorway of belonging. No need to polish your edges or hush your truth. We gather not in sameness, but in shared seeking. Take a breath. Set down what you carry. You're welcome, wholly and wildly in this place.
Thank you, Veysel. Good morning. I'm Heather Norby. I'm the Spiritual Life Director for this fantastic congregation. I use the pronouns she and her. Our mission statement is love plus connection equals transformation. What does that mean? It means that we want you to root yourselves in love and connect with others so we can transform ourselves and this world towards harmony and beauty. That being said, there is no program this Wednesday night, but I will resume dinner worship and Creativity Matters in September. Dinner worship will be the first Wednesday of September. Next Sunday after the service, there will be a fundraiser. The Broadway Chorus will perform South Pacific at 1:30 p.m., so please join Floyd, Joshua, Petra, and Adam, and others for this free concert. It's free, but it's a fundraiser. Yes? So still bring some money for donations. I am starting a new program. It'll happen about once a month on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. before a service that I don't have to do. If that makes sense. It's called Practice Matters, and it's about learning different spiritual practices that support us as Unitarian Universalists. So next week at 10 a.m. before Gail's service, I'm going to hold just sort of an information session. We'll be in the big RE room over there, and I will give you some information, and we'll talk about, what this program, what ideas I have and what ideas you have, so that we can sort of create the program together and support our spiritual journey this year. September 1st in Munn Park, there will be a Labor Day rally hosted by Indivisible Polk and the It Takes a Village Community Coalition. It will be at 5:30 p.m. That's 5:30 p.m. in Munn Park on September 1st. The Interfaith Coalition of Polk County is hosting an event again on September 11th. It'll be, I have two different times. I got to work this out, 6 or 6:30 p.m. at College Heights United Methodist Church, which I think is on South Boulevard, just in between Lake Morton and Lake Hollingsworth. We're entitling it One Nation, Many Faiths, and we will have some folks from the coalition, along with Victor Sims, speaking on the panel, and we will be talking about how we can be one nation with many faiths. So please come out and join the Interfaith Coalition on September 11th. Our UUCL Water Communion is September 14th, so don't forget to collect water from a special place to which you feel like you belong. And we will come together on that Sunday morning for our water communion service, which involves pouring the water in our communal bowl and sharing a little piece of ourselves with each other. So if you have any questions about that, if you're new, you have no idea what water communion is, feel free to ask me. And again, I have a new schedule. My office hours are going to be by appointment, so if you would like to meet with me, send me an email, a text message, catch me on a Sunday, make sure I have my planner and I write it down, and we can meet that way. Let's see. Oh, Macy has bags that she's selling, of course, to support our UU shared value of interdependence. We're trying to cut down on single-use plastic bags because they're a big problem, and so she's got these cute little shopping bags. She's just looking for $2. She only takes cash. It is a fundraiser for UUCL, and she may be by today with those bags, and I'm sure she'll have them every week that she's here, so if you would like a bag, see Macy. Let's see. Okay. And just go ahead and check the back of your order of service and our e-newsletter, which is published on Mondays, for more information. If you don't receive our newsletter but you would like to, be sure to leave your email on the sign-up sheet outside. All right, and let's create our sacred space.
Yes. Thank you, Heather. And flaming chalice is the symbol of this Unitarian Universalist faith that we are all in, part of it. We light it each Sunday, as do the other UU churches around the world, to create a sacred place, to connect us with another, and to remember who we are as people of faith. Jacob, would you please do us the honor of lighting our chalice? Chalice Lighting on Belonging by Reverend Karen LeBlanc. This isn't just a place of worship. This isn't just a fellowship of like minds. This isn't just a Sunday morning filled with spirit and topped off with coffee and cookies. This is our church, our congregation, where we are building beloved community, where we are opening ourselves to each other, where we trust and love, rise and fall together. This is where we feel safe. This is where we know we are welcome. This is where we belong. For this gift and so many others, we light our chalice. Thank you, Jacob. And let us rise in body or spirit to sing Spirit of Life in English and Spanish.
Musicians for changing it up. We appreciate that sometimes. Yeah. Excellent. Well, this is the time of the service when I invite the young and the young at heart to come on forward. There she comes. Today I have a story. Oh, good morning. It looks like you're coloring some really pretty pictures. I like those. Rainbows and birds, some of my favorite things. Yeah. What color are you going to make that bird? Blue and pink and purple. A lovely, lovely colored bird. Well, I have a story today. It's called Everybody's Welcome. Everybody. Who's everybody? Are you everybody? Yes. Are you everybody? Yeah. What about this one? Is she everybody? Yes, everybody's welcome. All right. I'm going to try to hold the book and the microphone at the same time. I can hold the book. You can hold the book. Okay. Well, I got to see the book. teamwork. In a forest clearing, there is a little mouse dreaming of the future in a great big happy house. Where's the mouse? In a forest clearing? What's a forest clearing? We don't know? You don't know? Huh. It looks to me like the trees are here, but in the forest clearing, maybe there's no trees. Because if you're going to build a house, can you build it like in between the trees?
In the tree, like
You could build it in the tree. That's kind of fun, isn't it? But if you're going to build it on the ground, you got to like move stuff out of the way, right? Or find a clear spot. Yeah? Yeah, okay. Suddenly, a frog appears with a sorry tale of woe. My pond, my home is all dried up. I have no place to go. What should the mouse do?
get some more water.
Get some more water? That's a good idea. Help the frog out, yeah? Well, this mouse says, Froggy, please don't worry. You can stick with me. Everything will be all right. Just you wait and see. Let's build a home together. We'll make it big and strong, and once we get it started, you won't be sad for long. Everybody's welcome, no matter who they are, wherever they may come from, whether near or far. Who else do we see that might be welcome? We've got a frog and a mouse and a bird. Please help us, cry the rabbits. We've had an awful scare. An eagle chased us from our home. Do you have room to spare? What do you think they should say?
Yes.
Okay. Everybody's welcome. If you need a place to hide, come and help us build this house. You'll all be safe inside. They said yes. Isn't that nice? And more. They said you'll be safe here. Some of us can form a chain and all work as a team. We'll build a shelter stick by stick, following our dream. Well, look at this. Yeah, they're passing the sticks down their line, down their chain, working together. Oh, and the frog's got a saw over here. He's cutting wood. You seen a frog cut wood before? I'm all alone, cries Big Brown Bear with teardrops in his eyes. I frighten other people off because of my great size. Well, come along and join us, Bear. A great big guy like you is just what we've been missing. There's so much you can do. They invited the bear. Can you believe that? Well, they said everybody's welcome. Is the bear everybody? Yeah. Everybody's welcome, and all can play their part. Just look at Big Brown Bear. He's already made a start. Flapping and a fluttering, a flock of birds arrive. Someone chopped our tree down. How will we all survive? If we all work together, no task is too great, even if some helpers arrive a little late. And look at the snail. He says, sorry, I'm late. Those snails, they can't help it. They just move slow. That's okay. Some of us just move slower than others. And the news will soon spread. Oh, here they are in their forest clearing. For miles around of what we are building. Oh, so other people or other animals are going to find out what they're building. They're building a home safe and sound.
Got lots of levels.
Look at them working together. All those animals. Oh, there's even like a squirrel. What else do you see in here?
There's a fox.
There's a fox. The fox heard about it. Do you know what this is down here? A hedgehog, and the hedgehog heard about it. Is hedgehog everybody? And the fox is everybody? What's who doing?
Oh, that's a bunny reaching. He's got a name.
He's got a nail. Yeah, he's giving it to the worm. Is a worm everybody? Yeah. They just don't have legs, but they can just be on the ground helping out with the nails. Yeah. As the rain clouds gather in a dark and stormy sky, the animals keep building a roof to keep them dry. When our house is ready and everything is complete, we'll all live here together and life will be so sweet. Our home will be so happy and we'll fill it up with song. Everyone who lives here will know that they belong.
Some goose.
And a goose. What is this? A deer. Everybody did hear about it and they came to join them. And it says that they sang a song so that they would know that they belong. Did we sing a song here today in church? Yeah. There was an owl too? Do you think the owl was hooting along? Yeah. Was everybody singing? You don't know? Yeah. Did you sing our song? Were you trying to sing with us? Yeah. You would, because you might not have heard that song before.
Yeah, it was hard to sing, so I tried and then
Yeah.
I couldn't.
And that's, you're doing your part. You draw it in, you colored instead. That was a hard song to sing. But if you keep coming, you'll learn the song. And then you'll feel like you belong. Right? Yeah. And so this is a church and this is a place where everybody belongs. Right? Where you belong and where you belong and you belong and you belong. And my little friend back there, you belong too. All right. Well, now that you know that you belong, y'all can go out with Miss Melissa and Mr. Jerry and go, do the things. Yeah? Okay, cool.
Do you remember what we did last time?
Oh, yeah.
Where we put the stone in the
You
water?
put your stones in the water?
Can you show everybody how to do that?
Okay.
For those that haven't been here before?
I can take the mic.
Thanks to Heather for the message for everyone, the aged, and our children. And while Jerry and Melissa are taking them out, I will start with that. Here we gather, tucked back in this friendly neighborhood between the beautiful tall pines. We are a community of people who have arrived from many different paths. Yet we seek a common goal, to bring more love and justice to a hurting but beautiful world. We do this by building our UUCL community with our time, talents, and treasures. And this is the proof of my sweat equity from this morning. While Jen was running around, doing ushering, the hospitality, I had a few minutes to help her out. Ken helped out, and anyone, showing, give us a hand. That's how we get these things done. This is it, like us doing it all together. Our shared UU value of generosity calls us to covenant with one another, that we freely and compassionately share our faith, presence, and resources so that the dream of beloved community becomes a reality. So please help us grow into our dreams as our ushers pass the plate for our collection. And like me, if you're doing a monthly pledge donation, make sure your check is brought and passed to them also. Oops. I'll go there. This is my monthly. We are a small community, but there are a lot of things we can use help with, time-wise, personal resources, and Wednesday events, let it be popcorn theology or the other event Heather mentioned, great times to connect with each other. And once again, thank you for all your generous contributions.
I light the healing candle each week to remind us to keep practicing compassion, a compassion so strong that it can help heal the wounds that keep us apart. It is a courageous practice in a world that seems to care so little. Faisal, would you please light our healing candle for us today? Thank you. Let us call upon the Spirit of life and love in this moment to remind us to not stop caring just because facing the world has become so overwhelming. Instead, let us gather from one another a caring energy that will sustain us as we continue to fight the systems of power that dehumanize and oppress. Let us gather from one another a love so fierce that it becomes unstoppable as we place it out into the world for all to belong to help it grow into a harmony that becomes the way of the world. Sabine Selassie says, belonging is our capacity to feel joy, freedom, and love in any moment. Let us create more of these moments here with one another and in the world. Spirit of life and love, nurture us so we may heal ourselves and heal our world. Amen. Our ritual of the sharing of joys and sorrows is a prayerful time in which we listen to our hearts, minds, bodies, and souls to discern what it is we need in this moment of healing. This ritual allows for us to connect our lives and deepen our faith in the understanding that we do indeed belong to one another. We are here to care for each other, and through caring, we illuminate the beauty of our interdependence. In our Joys and Sorrows book, you are able to write any significant joy or sorrow occurring in your life that you would like for the congregation to know. Today is August 24th, and we have a joy from Melissa and Harper. They found their wedding venue in Jamestown, North Carolina, and finalized their wedding day for April 19th, 2026. Congratulations. And we have a response that I would like for us to get into the habit of saying together during joys and sorrows or after we put the pebbles in the bowl. It is, you are not alone. We are holding it together. You are invited now to come forward for our ritual of joys and sorrows. You may take whichever stone or stones feels right to you and drop it in the bowl, connecting to others and feeling the power of being together in this community.
Peter, would you please, Chris, Crystal is here. So. We're live broadcasting on Facebook and YouTube and maybe on Zoom. If we could put stones for those who are watching us online. Thank you for sharing your Sunday with us. Thank you, Peter. Now we're reading about how Jesus intentionally welcomed Zacchaeus, as told by Lauren Vasquez from Faithful. The story of Zacchaeus, Luke 19, verses 1 through 10, if I'm saying it correctly, provides a great example of the way Jesus not only welcomed people, but invited them to contribute their gifts and find the ways in which they belong. Zacchaeus had a strong desire to be with Jesus. However, there were multiple barriers standing in his way. For one, Zacchaeus was short. In a big crowd, he would have a hard time catching a glimpse of Jesus. So when Jesus came to town, Zacchaeus took it upon himself to arrive early and climb a tree. This way, his height wouldn't prevent him from seeing Jesus. But that still didn't ensure Zacchaeus would be welcome. He was also a tax collector, and that meant he was a sinner who wouldn't generally be welcome in a respected religious figure circle. Yet Jesus saw Zacchaeus and called him by name. He then went above and beyond by asking Zacchaeus to host Jesus at his home. This would have been considered outlandish in the culture of the time. Jesus wasn't supposed to be associating with Zacchaeus, let alone staying at his home. This phenomenal inclusion gave a path for Zacchaeus to receive the grace of Jesus. Jesus genuinely loved and included Zacchaeus. By the way, I don't know if I'm pronouncing right, but we made a joke at home, my wife and I, when I was practicing this, like, should we do like Americans and call him Zach instead of Zacchaeus? Like, well, let's make him Zach. Then, like, we'll try. Let's go with Zacchaeus. So his community, and Jesus invited Zacchaeus into mutual hospitality, honoring Zacchaeus for what he could contribute. Jesus didn't ask Zacchaeus to stop being a tax collector or change his ways before welcoming him in. Yet in response, Zacchaeus gave even more than Jesus asked of him. He promised to give half of his possessions to the poor and pay back 4 times over anything he had taken unjustly from the others.
Thank you, Vaisal. Yes, we decided we could just call him Zach the tax collector. So the story of Jesus and Zacchaeus, or Zach the tax collector, is a story of centering oneself in love, of taking actions toward inclusivity and deepening relationships that transform the world towards justice. It is a multi-dimensional story of building belonging as it expands all parties involved in the circle of inclusion, which then changes the world. Take just a moment to reflect and center yourself in the practice of building belonging. Feel free to close your eyes, to focus on the flame, to take some deep breaths. Think about how we build belonging. And ask yourself, are there people you would never desire to eat at the same table with, or go to the home of for an evening of building friendship? Consider the lengths that Jesus took to include people into his world. As Unitarian Universalists, do we model this kind of belonging? What kind of belonging do we want to model? Let us sing ourselves into a new way of being and building belonging with our hymn in the gray hymnal, number 323, Break Not the Circle. And feel free to rise in body or spirit as we sing together. It's a little addition to the song.
That was the elation part.
That's the elation part. You know, Game of Thrones isn't the most joyous of series. Not everyone walks into this sanctuary as a Unitarian Universalist. In fact, most of us didn't. And some days, even those of us who have been members for decades or even for life, have forgotten the assignment and fall out of line with our covenants. So we walk through that door again and again, week after week, to remind ourselves what it means to be a Unitarian Universalist. And if it's your first or even second time walking through our doors, we hope you come back again and again to join us in the ways we change ourselves and the world. In Unitarian Universalism, we believe that revelation is continuous and that transformation is an ongoing, never-ending process. Your UUCL Board of Trustees, with your feedback, is developing a vision for this congregation, one that we hope will support our revelations and our transformations. So far, it states that our vision for our congregation is to be a beacon of inclusivity, pluralism, and action, a dynamic and engaged community that fosters deep relationships and ignites passion for justice. Wow. There's a lot being said in this statement. It's terrific, really. And it fits very well with the biblical story that we just heard, the story of how Jesus includes Zacchaeus, a little man with little integrity. It is a story of building belonging. Jesus knew that Zacchaeus belonged, and so he included him, and that transformed Zacchaeus and Jesus. And as Jesus' actions did, actions in line with our UUCL vision statement for our congregation would run counter to the way we've become accustomed to doing things in America. If we start behaving in ways that support our vision, we may be seen as outlandish too. But let's ask ourselves then, what is the purpose of a church? Is it to be just like it is out there? because out there in the wild can be a pretty harsh and unforgiving place. And our vision is to transform the world towards love, a fierce but gracious and compassionate love. And we can't do that out there unless we do it in here with each other and with the new people who walk in that door looking for sanctuary, looking, as we all have, for a place to belong. As I've heard several of my spiritual mentors say before, the church is like a living laboratory where we experiment with ways of being together so we can bring our values and our vision to life out there. So let's unpack the vision statement that we're proposing for our congregation. It is the plan. As we addressed last week, we can't build a church without a plan first. And as 19th century Unitarian minister William Ellery Channing said, faith is love taking the form of aspiration. So now we have the plan and something to aspire to. So we have to prepare the site. And preparing the site where we build requires that we clear some space, pull some weeds and remove debris, excavate a little deeper into the ground of our beingness and get out of our way that which might prevent us from living deeply into this vision of ours. And that means looking at our bad behaviors and getting out of our own way, really. That means getting uncomfortable and doing some hard work. When building a community, we need to do much the same as a builder might do, only the site is not necessarily the physical aspects of our church. For our purposes today, it is the by nature invisible and intangible cultural aspects of our community to which I draw your attention. All communities possess their own cultures, each one with unique idiosyncrasies, some healthy and nurturing, and some not so healthy and even toxic. A community's culture is a shared perspective that surrounds our churches like, as one Buddhist monk described, an aura, emerging from what we think, believe, feel, and do. Culture as aura. And you've probably heard metaphors like, culture is the water we swim in, that illustrate to us that we are not even aware that our behavior is culturally shaped. We just assume it's normal human behavior. Church cultures are built by the ideas and values of the people who arrive at our door. And the people who arrive at our door are influenced by our wider culture. We are influenced by our larger culture. We bring in the strengths like democracy, technology, forgiveness, and random acts of kindness. But we also carry in here with us the shadows, things like racism, sexism, dehumanizing the other, and disconnection. All kinds of cultural influences are in play. It is necessary then to pause and reflect on a regular basis to ask ourselves what debris is in the way of building a solid foundation for our vision statement. How deep can we excavate the site of our cultural beingness, and what needless relics can we toss so that we can fully live into being that beacon of inclusivity, pluralism, and action? A dynamic and engaged community that fosters deep relationships and ignites passion for justice. Our 19th century Unitarian ancestors taught us that Christianity was about character. Channing preached, "All that we do outwardly is but the expression and completion of our inward thought. To work effectively, we must think clearly. To act nobly, we must think nobly." Channing, as a Unitarian Christian, promoted the life and teachings of Jesus alongside an individual's freedom for intelligent reasoning. As he proclaimed in his 1819 speech that declared Unitarianism as a different kind of Christianity, we are accustomed to value the gospel chiefly as it abounds in effectual aids, motives, excitements to a generous and divine virtue. Channing urged that we think and act in the ways of Jesus, and that we create a culture by influencing people around us. He wrote, "I am a living member of the great family of all souls, and I cannot improve or suffer myself without diffusing good or evil around me through an ever-enlarging sphere. I belong to this family. I am bound to it by vital bonds." We all belong to this human family, but we forget. We forget that we belong. We let the toxic debris of our culture permeate our reason, fog our thinking, and obscure our values. Dehumanization of others, and even of ourselves, becomes the result. So let's take a closer look at some cultural debris that obscures the way so we can gain clear and noble thinking, as Channing aspired to. The first part of our vision statement for the congregation states that we want to be a beacon of inclusivity, pluralism, and action. But what might get in the way of becoming a beacon of inclusivity, pluralism, and action? I often hear from people that they feel very welcomed here, that it feels like they've finally found their spiritual home and their spiritual family. We are indeed good at welcoming one another here. We are a small church with a big heart. We understand what we want to build, but sometimes we don't actually know how to get there. So let's look beyond welcoming into actually building belonging. Belonging means inclusion. Inclusion of a person's talents and skills, yes, but inclusion also means listening with deep curiosity to a person's experiences and ideas and figuring out how to co-create a church community with them. The result for a church that practices inclusion and becomes more like one another and less like this is the way we've always done it, the result of this kind of inclusion is pluralism, a church that has grown and reshaped and transformed itself because it builds belonging together. A church of inclusion that produces pluralism is one that is smarter because many voices belong to the architectural chorus that creates it. In the story of Jesus and Zach the tax collector, we hear that Zach was short, which really emphasizes the point that the righteous people who gathered to listen to Jesus looked down upon him. He was not living a life in sync with the values of Jesus' followers. Does that mean he was of no value? That the followers of Jesus had nothing to learn from Zacchaeus and his life experiences? That he had nothing to offer? Clearly not. As when Zacchaeus felt truly included and connected with Jesus, he offered 4 times as much as he had unjustly taken. In our community, a community embedded in the larger American culture in which we live, what keeps us from seeing the value of one another and offering grace to one another for the mistakes we make? We all make them. Some mistakes are harmless and small, but sometimes we can really mess up. And we know we do, but we're so used to a culture that cancels that we don't know how to be accountable for our mistakes. So instead of creating a safe environment where we can be real with one another, we hide or become defensive or turn the tables and try to shame someone else for their mistakes. And we do it without even realizing that it's unhealthy because it is just the way it is out there. It's the water we swim in. And with the cancel culture that permeates social media, it's getting worse. Listen, there are some folks out there who are way out of line with any sort of noble moral compass that a Unitarian Universalist may use, and they are doing great harm to this world. But acting like them won't get us anywhere. Cancel culture runs against every one of our UU shared values. It does not build belonging. It destroys it. Individuals who have been canceled experience severe mental health problems, anxiety, depression, social isolation. It impacts any of us who witness the public shaming as well. Cancel culture keeps our voices quiet because we may fear being publicly shamed too. Furthermore, if we are shaping our character out of toxic debris that gets in the way of building belonging, or if we are doing that, if we are a part of this, we're just building our character with toxic debris. And this has become so pervasive and so normalized that we bring it in here with us, and we start disconnecting ourselves from one another instead of fostering conversations that heal. Remember the words of the hymn we just sang. Break not the circle of enabling love, where people grow forgiven and forgiving. Break not that circle, make it wider still till it includes, embraces all the living. The product of cancel culture is not pluralism. It is disconnection and increased intolerance and hatred of other people. Shame stifles growth and learning and our ability to heal. It sets us up for an us versus them mentality instead of luring us towards a harmony that holds nuance and complexity and laughter and elation. Let's not be like the culture out there. Let's co-create something with more beauty in here so we can bring it out there, diffusing it through an ever-enlarging sphere, as William Ellery Channing's wisdom guides us to do. That brings me to the part of our vision that states that we strive to be a community of action. We must realize that cultures need time to change. Change happens when you spend time together, paying particular attention to how you are each holding one another accountable to our values. So your assignment, the action I want you to take, is to spend time together. Feed our culture through your actions and ongoing collaboration, which will gradually shift us towards being a dynamic and engaged community that fosters deep relationships. Brené Brown offers us another example of what sort of toxic debris may get in our way of fostering deep relationships and building belonging. She said, "For me, what was really surprising was after I spent a year trying to understand where we are as a country, what I learned was pretty shocking. We've sorted ourselves into these ideological bunkers. We don't go to school and worship and live by people who are different from us as much as we used to. And the more sorted we become, you would think the more connected we become, because now I'm with people who are like me. But it turns out that behind those ideological bunkers, it's not that we're deeply connected to each other. It's just that we hate the same people. And hating the same people doesn't really mean jack when it comes down to belonging, because just because you hate the same people, that doesn't mean you're going to show up for me when I'm throwing up at chemo, or you're going to go pick up my kids from school when I'm running late or have a flat tire. It's not real connection. So we're more sorted, but we're lonely. What is it that connects you to the other people in this community? Are you connected to people who think differently than you? Are you curious enough to learn more about them, whether they hate the same people or not? How deep and expansive can we excavate the site for the belonging that we are building here? A belonging that participates in the ever ongoing process of transformation. One that ignites our passion for justice, one that ignites a passion for justice and those whose flame hasn't been lit yet, like Zacchaeus. What was it that propelled Zacchaeus to generosity, to accountability, and to work towards justice for those he wronged? Was it connection? Was it the grace of forgiveness? Was it being seen and accepted as he was, mistakes and all, and being given the opportunity in a safe space with a safe person to make things better? Was it because Jesus helped him know that he belonged like we all belong? We didn't all walk through that sanctuary door as well-formed Unitarian Universalists. Not one of us did, or still does, really. So how do we ignite a passion for justice in one another? It's not by bringing in the toxic debris of the culture out there. The purpose of a church is to transform a culture, not to echo an unhealthy culture. We are preparing to build something much more harmonious, much more loving, much more joyful than what we find out there. And so we do it here with ourselves first. I invite you to take a moment of reflection so that we may prepare ourselves to take action, the action that will connect us deeper and wider by removing the toxic debris. I attended Crystal's Karma Yoga class this past Friday, and serendipitously, she introduced us to an ethical practice of yoga that can support what we're doing here today. It's called tapas, self-discipline. And it's from this book that Crystal uses called The Yamas and Niyamas by Deborah Adele. This one. Tapas literally means heat and can be translated as catharsis, austerity, self-discipline, spiritual effort, change, tolerance, or transformation. Tapas is our determined effort to become someone of character and strength. Think of it like cooking an egg. When you apply heat and cook the egg, it changes the structure of the egg. But the egg has to stay in that heat for a certain amount of time in order to truly transform. So tapas is an ethical practice of yoga in which we withstand heat or discomfort or challenges in order to live into new possibilities. The author, Deborah Adele, actually talks about burning debris as one might burn a prairie in order to encourage new and more enriched growth. She encourages tapas as a regular practice of putting ourselves in places where the old debris that has collected in us can be removed. And I strive for this church community to be a safe place where we can continue to clear the debris of an unhealthy culture. So imagine and reflect, if you will, for a moment in which you encountered someone here at UUCL and felt more compelled to disconnect than to connect. The practice of tapas invites us to be in life in a different way, to stay in that moment and be uncomfortable, to feel the heat and to change the way we respond, to connect instead of disconnect. Adele asks us, in those times when we don't know how to get through the next minute of what seems unknown and overwhelming to us, can we hold on until we are somehow blessed by our struggle? Can we grow our ability to stay in the fire? Tapas, she says, is the willingness to be both burned and blessed. I am not advocating, of course, that you put yourself in harm's way. You know your boundaries. Trust them. But find your growing edges and stay in the fire that burns the debris so that you can grow with more bounty. When someone says something that you disagree with, here in our safe space, stay with it. Get curious, ask questions instead of shutting them down and walking away. Instead of shame, choose love, choose connection. The story of Jesus and Zacchaeus. Our hymn number 323 that we sang together, the guiding words of our Unitarian ancestor, William Ellery Channing, the practice of to pause, and whatever other source you want to bring into the mix, because that's how we roll in Unitarian Universalism, can inspire us to prepare the site, to clear the debris, the cancel culture, and the shallow relationship building, to excavate and remove unhealthy cultural relics of shame and defensiveness that get in our way of building, belonging, and living into our vision. Let us be that beacon of inclusivity, pluralism, and action that we envision. A dynamic, an engaged community that fosters deep relationships and ignites passion for justice. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather, for this great message. I, for one, have a lot to take from that message, and I will act on it, so thank you. For our closing words, take courage, friends, written by Wayne B. Arneson. Take courage, friends. The way is often hard, the path is never clear, and the stakes are very high. Take courage, for deep down there is another truth. You are not alone.
We're going to sing another song from our new hymnal, the virtual hymnal. It's called Love, Come Take Me Home. Now, before Tim sings it and we just join in on the chorus, okay? Before Tim sings it for us, I would like him to say just a couple brief words about why it really touched you the way that it did.
Well, the song really touched me in a way that I never thought possible. Home. When I first started coming here, I was a wanderer. I didn't know what was going on. I was so filled with hate. I didn't know other people until I started looking. You got to seek to find. So I looked and I found it. And this song is a story of being somebody looking for it, and finally ending up knowing where your home is. This home is love, and figuring out what love means to you and how you need it, and carry it into yourself. And I hope that this song brings joy to your heart as it starts from the loneliness to end in freedom and friendship.
Thank you.
I've been a traveler on a lonesome road. Its winding has drawn me away so far from home.
Thank you, Tim, for this beautiful song. We love you all. We love you. And please join me as we extinguish the chalice. Jacob, would you please take the honor to extinguish our chalice while we read the chalice extinguishing verse. We extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth, or the warmth of love, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world. Thank you.
Go out into the world now, but don't forget where you belong. Right here with us. This is your home too. And remember, you are loved, you are worthy, and you are a blessing. Thank you, and see you in the fall. And Mason's here in the back. Yes, he's here in the park.
You know what would have been a fun song to do? Taxman.